So Dylan, tell me about your 2020 STI.
So this is for 2020 STI Series White, so it's 1 of 500. It's got from the factory, it has no sunroof, has no lane departure, all for the track car purpose build. It's got the special color to it, so it's like a ceramic white, it's not like the pearl white that comes on the Subarus. And then it's got 19-inch BBS factory forged wheels.
Sweet.
I have spacers on them right now because I wanted the fitment.
Yeah.
BC racing coilers, along with I got solid shifter bushings and short shifter.
Is there anything different on interior on these?
I don't. It's got
silver Brembos though.
Okay. Yeah, so it's got the silver Brembos.
But they're still at RA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet.
There's nothing really different on the interior. It's got like a bunch of dead buttons because it's got like it's got the premium seats and everything, but it has all the base model features. So it's kind of like a clash between it all. But then also all the factory black emblems are factory with it.
That's sick.
Along with the grill with the wrench.
I don't think I've ever seen one of these.
I recently just had the bumper repainted too because it had like weird splashy points on it. The shop that did it did a really solid job too.
Nice. So this has been running for a minute. All I see is smoke out of the intake, but that's good because that's the only open port. It seems like nothing else is smoking. Let me know if you see anything.
And when you bought it, they thought it was a launch edition.
Gonna be hollering. Ah! We figured it out. Just had to do some warm-up enrichment adjustments for the big injectors. It's a nice tone. It's not like, yeah, it's not too loud. The last car I did was a single exit, so it was a little louder. Definitely like the color and the wheel combo.
2 or 4 times trying to dial it in.
Do you just use the wrench thickness? Yeah. Kind of the trick for it.
Sam has some like special. The guys at Boost Group in Colorado.
Nice. Probably one of my favorite color combos for the newer STIs. Looks really good in white. It's a different presence. You can see the lines differently. Getting some Shell 92 pump gas. Good to go. That was pretty wild. You definitely hit, yeah, the desired kind of boost for this heat. So something that I noticed sometimes on hard shifts, the Subarus register what they call knock, but it's not. It's just the hard shifts. But it wasn't anything crazy. But it's funny when you are just in a gear and you do these nice roll-ons, zero knock. As soon as you start hard shifting, it'll ping a little like, oh, I think I got something, and it'll pull back a tiny bit. But it's nothing dramatic to make the car feel like it's falling on its face or anything. It still feels like it pulls really smoothly. We'll get to that one long straight again, and I'll just have you start kind of low at like 2.5 in 4th gear, and I'll just have you mat it, and we're just gonna carry it all the way to red line downhill. So it's in about two or three turns. I'll show you where it is. A little bit further. So pretty much as you see the straight, just drop it to the floor. smoothly all throughout. Definitely, I like that there's no more of that like step, kind of steps up in power. It's more smooth. Yeah, I can review the logs. I'll smooth it out a bit more. I think we're right about there. I'm happy the funky glitch stumble between 2 and 3 is gone. Yeah.
Like skip the gears to like get underneath like
yeah.
Where I had to like be doing like pulls the whole time to get to like out of it. It was kind of weird though. Like after I do like a pull and just like drive normally, it would just like it would kind of fix it for a little bit.
Okay. After stop, you can take a right if you want. We can try another 1, 2, 3 rip if it's all clear.
I don't think it really needs it anymore. I'm pretty happy with it.
You want to try maybe just the sport mode, just to compare how much less or equal dramatic it is. Yep.
Stumble's not there anymore.
Nice. What are the next mods down the future?
Down the future, I kind of want to go big turbo at some point, or like an upgraded stock location. That's further down. I want to do like side skirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of clean up the look of it.
The biggest bang for your buck would be some more supporting mods for cooling for this current setup.
Yeah.
Like you could slap a bigger turbo, but if you don't upgrade the intercooler, it'll make a little more power, but it'll still be limited with like that heat and pre-ignition or knock as they call it, you know.
What do you think about like ETS?
Yeah, people do either a bigger top mount. I always say isolate the turbo away from it with a blanket and a shield. Those are the cheapest. So you could do that first. You could get a Amazon blanket for $30.
Yeah.
They're all made of Kevlar, same material as the fancy brands.
Yeah.
That's the easiest one. A lot of people wrap their downpipe. I used to do that. I would heat wrap the downpipe, heat wrap the headers.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain because all that stuff is super itchy, but I saw benefits from doing it. It's really nice if your engine doesn't leak any oil, because then that heat wrap becomes like a wick for a candle to light on fire, or it gets more stinky because all that stuff heats up and heat cycles.
Well, I heard, it like ignites.
Yeah, it can. It's kind of scary. So, you know, they say don't just go heat wrap leaky engine headers. Like, you got to fix those issues. But it's all interesting because it helps the headers retain more heat, so the boost comes on better, and it keeps heat away from your intake and away from the intercooler and where the charge air comes in. Yeah, ETS makes awesome stuff. It looks good and it's very functional.
Yeah, my dad lives down in Vancouver, and or lives in Battleground, but it's like 20 minutes away from Vancouver. And so they live like right next to like ETS. And I'm like, Dad, you gotta go pick me up some ETS stuff. I'll come by and pick it up.
Go hound them for a deal.
Yeah. Well, they already got like the what's it? The like clearance stuff, and it's like has like a slight scratch on it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, I feel like that's a pretty good deal. Like, I always check out all the fins and everything, make sure all the fins are good on the intercooler.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, well, if the fins are good, it's not leaking. I mean, I don't really have a problem with the scratch on there.
Oh yeah, they won't change anything as long as it's functional.
Yeah. And but like the turbo inlet, I ordered it and they're like, hey, you know, you ordered black, but it came in like a carbon fiber like look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that cool? I'm like, I don't really care as long as it functions the way it should. They're like, yeah, it definitely functions. I'm like, all right, well, ship it. I'm like, sure, the external appeal is
again, a bigger turbo, it'll spool a little later.
Yeah.
That's felt. So I've done a couple bigger turbos for people, and it's not always what they expected,
Yeah.
because it's always limited by fuel.
Okay.
You know, it's the volumetric efficiency of the engine. It's a 2.5, you know, stock engine, and so you can only cram so much air in there. The stock turbo handles 20 psi easily. People push it to 23, and they still work fine. It's more, you know, again, all the physics involved in thermodynamics of like cool air in, ignition, power out, so to speak.
What do you think about like porting and polishing turbo?
It could help a little bit, but I think in all my experience, just it's such a big difference with cooling. I don't know why it's such a, like a car can handle more ignition timing, you know, and a little more boost with just all the right cold air and coming in.
Right.
I forget if you have like an air oil separator. That
probably.
yeah, that helps a lot, because right now your PCV, any blow by goes back in the inlet.
Okay.
And so there's it's kind of like at times fine mist, oily mist.
Yeah.
And all that oily mist gets mixed with your fuel mist off the injector, and so your octane is not as high of a quality.
Okay.
So by the time it hits the combustion chamber, it's probably not a 92 anymore, because it's got little oil vapors in there.
Right.
Oil's not, it's combustible, or it'll burn, but it's not a combustible fuel.
Right.
And so a lot of people will clean that up with an air oil separator, and then boom, the car's happier as well. Oh, it's okay. We can, you can just back into there.
Sorry, I just kind of.
But yeah, I can just clean up a couple of things and flash you, and you should be good to go. I don't even think we'll need to go drive anymore. And that was a fun tune with the 1F500 in the series white STIs. They're definitely very good looking. Beautiful color and unusual for a Subi.